Get your ghetto self out of my hotel before I call the cops. The voice sliced through the grand lobby, laced with arrogance. Mason Harris, the night manager of Sterling Grand Hotel, snatched a black metal card from Emma Johnson's fingers and slammed it against the floor. The $5,000 limit Centurion card slid across the polished stone before Mason's Oxford heel pinned it down, twisting it like a cigarette butt. Every whisper in the lobby went still. "This is embarrassing for everyone," he sneered, loud enough for the guests and chandeliers to bear witness. "Wherever you got this fake card, take it back." Behind the counter, the clerk, Chloe Davis, giggled nervously. "Should I get the mop? That thing probably has diseases." Emma stood motionless. Her white shirt and faded jeans apparently violated every silent rule of this glittering world. The crystal light caught on her calm face. Her sneakers squeaked slightly against the marble, but she did not bend. 11:47 p.m. blinked from the digital clock behind the desk. They had no idea who they were talking to. Slowly, she crouched, picked up the card, and slipped it back into her worn leather messenger bag. Her voice was soft but firm. "I have a penthouse reservation," she said, placing her phone on the counter. The glowing confirmation email read, "Sterling Grand Hotel, Penthouse Suite 4, 5501. Guest, Emma Johnson." Mason barely glanced. "Anyone can Photoshop that garbage. You think we're stupid?" Chloe's fingers flew over her keyboard. "There is an Emma Johnson registered." She hesitated, staring at Emma. "But that can't be right." "What can't be right?" Emma asked evenly. Chloe's eyes darted nervously. "Well, the real Emma Johnson would be different. Important, you know." Mason leaned forward, voice dripping with condescension. "Sweetheart, this is a 5-star establishment. We host CEOs, diplomats, A-listers. Look around, crystal chandeliers, Italian marble, mahogany desks. Do you see anyone dressed like they just rolled out of the discount store parking lot?" Emma's phone buzzed. 8 minutes to her conference call with Yamamoto Industries, Tokyo. 8 minutes to close a $200 million deal she'd spent half a year negotiating. But Mason Harris kept talking, his confidence swelling with every word. "I've been in luxury hospitality for 8 years. I can smell a scam. That bag? Cheap. Those shoes? They tell me you take the bus, you shop thrift, and the only time you've been in a place like this, you were cleaning it." Laughter fluttered from behind the desk. Emma unzipped her messenger bag, just enough to reveal a first-class boarding pass. Chicago to Tokyo, 6 a.m., and the edge of the same Centurion card Mason had just crushed. "I understand you're busy," she said softly, "but I really do need to check in." "Busy?" Mason barked a cruel laugh. "Lady, I've got all the time in the world to teach you reality. This isn't a community center. This is private property, my property to protect." A door opened behind him. Olivia Brown, the assistant manager, walked out holding a clipboard. Mason grabbed her arm, theatrically. "Olivia, we've got a scammer here. Fake documents, sob story, the usual." Olivia's gaze swept Emma head to toe. The judgment was instant. "Ma'am, show me real ID, government photo, proof you can afford a $2,800 per night suite." Phones started lifting across the lobby. Guests whispered. A woman in the lounge, Ava Lewis, tapped her screen, whispering into her phone, "I'm streaming this. Live from Chicago. Watch what's happening." Within seconds, the viewer count on her live video climbed past 100. Emma's voice did not shake. She produced her driver's license. Olivia examined it like it was counterfeit gold, tilting, sniffing, squinting. Could be fake, too. Identity theft's common. "Mason, maybe call the police?" He smiled, loving the spotlight. "Excellent idea." He dialed theatrically. "Chicago PD? This is Mason Harris, night manager at Sterling Grand. We have a fraud suspect in the lobby. Yes, right now." The clock, 11:54 p.m. 6 minutes remaining. Emma watched him perform for his audience. Every word was for show. She could almost hear the digital chorus of Ava's live viewers typing, "This is racism," and "Call corporate now." Chloe leaned toward Olivia. "Should I cancel her reservation?" "Absolutely," Olivia replied. "Free the room for someone who belongs here." Emma's phone buzzed again. Yamamoto Industries calling in 6 minutes. Marcus up front. Mason barked. Security Chief Ethan Clark appeared, tall, calm, uniformed. What's going on? We've got a fraud, Mason declared. Fake card, fake ID, the whole 9 yards. Look at her. Does she look like penthouse material to you? Ethan studied Emma. Something about her expression didn't match a con. Ma'am, I'll need you to come with me. Officer Clark, Emma said quietly, reading his name tag. Before you act, check your employee handbook, section 14.3. Mason rolled his eyes. She's quoting fake policies now. Classic scam tactic. But Ethan hesitated, thumb hovering over his phone to open the digital handbook. Ava's livestream viewer count hit 1,800. Comments flooded. This is insane. That woman's calm as ice. Something's coming. Record everything. Olivia snatched him his phone. Let me see that fake confirmation again. She scrolled, eyes narrowing. Professional formatting, correct numbers, but come on, look at her. It's obviously fake. A voice cut across the lobby. Maybe she does own the place. Heads turned. A man in a dark business suit, Logan Scott, strode in, briefcase in hand. Half the city's watching your little power trip live on Instagram, he said coolly. Sir, this is a private matter, Mason snapped. Private? Logan laughed. With 2,000 people streaming? That's about as private as Times Square. Mason's smirk faltered. She's committing fraud. What I see, Logan interrupted, is a black woman being humiliated without a shred of evidence. Whispers rippled. The elderly couple in the corner looked away. Teenagers filmed. Emma's phone read 11:57 p.m., 3 minutes left. Then Olivia's device buzzed. Her face drained. Mason, corporate just texted. They're asking about discrimination complaints at this location tonight. That's impossible, Mason snapped. Not really, Logan said. Because it's trending. Ethan checked his phone. His expression hardened. Section 14.3. Immediate termination for discriminatory behavior. Mason, she knew the rule. Mason went pale. I don't care who's watching. This is my lobby, my call. Chloe looked up timidly. Actually, there've been 17 complaints filed in 6 months. What? Mason spun on her. Silence fell. Every eye turned toward Emma Johnson, the woman they had dismissed. 11:58 p.m. 2 minutes to midnight. Emma unzipped her messenger bag, calm as ever, and placed a leather portfolio on the marble counter. Officer Clark, she said, her voice steady as a blade. Please read that section aloud. Ethan opened his phone. Section 14.3. Any employee engaging in discriminatory behavior based on race, gender, religion, or economic status faces immediate termination without severance and legal liability for reputational damage. Mason's jaw tightened. Why are you reading that? Emma opened her portfolio slowly, revealing a sheet embossed with Sterling Hotel Group's crest. She slid it toward him. What is this? Mason asked, his voice brittle. Your quarterly performance report, Emma replied. He froze as she continued. Revenue down 23%. Guest satisfaction 2.3 stars. Staff turnover 89%. You're failing every metric, Mason. Olivia leaned closer. How do you even have this document? Emma reached back in her portfolio and placed a business card beside it. Emma Johnson, Chief Executive Officer, Johnson Ventures. The crowd gasped. Ava's live stream chat exploded. She owns the hotel. Plot twist of the year. Mason stumbled back, gripping the counter. Emma tapped her iPad, rotating it toward them. Her professional portrait smiled from the Sterling Hotel Group website. Majority shareholder, Johnson Ventures, controlling 67% ownership. The marble lobby fell silent, except for the hum of the chandelier lights. And then chaos. Guests whispered. Phones flashed. Ava's viewer count surged past 4,000. Mason's breath came short. I can't believe. Emma's calm gaze met his. Believe it. I own everything you see. The marble under your feet, the uniform on your back. You try to throw me out of my own hotel. Mason's voice cracked. If you just told us. I did, Emma said softly. You just didn't want to believe it. The digital clock blinked 11:59 p.m. 1 minute to midnight. Her phone buzzed again, Tokyo calling. She looked Mason square in the eyes. You want a reality? Let me show you what that looks like. Midnight. The lobby clock flickered over to 12 a.m. The same moment Emma Johnson's voice cut through the heavy silence. Before anyone could speak, she accepted the incoming call, her tone calm and professional. Yamamoto-san, yes. I'm ready for the board meeting update. Every word echoed through the grand hall as she turned the phone screen toward Mason Harris. The display reading Yamamoto Industries, Tokyo. She ended the call briefly, then placed her phone beside the shattered remnants of his arrogance. Now, she said, her tone carrying the stillness before a storm, let's discuss your performance. The crowd watched in awe as Emma connected her laptop to the lobby's massive display screen. The Sterling Hotel Group logo appeared, followed by the title Operational Audit, Chicago location. Mason swallowed hard. You can't do this. I can, Emma interrupted smoothly, and I will. The first slide appeared, revenue decline, $1.8 million, $1.2 million. Guest satisfaction, she continued. 2.3 stars out of 5. Staff turnover, 89%. Corporate risk rating, critical. Her voice wasn't angry. It was deliberate, each sentence striking like a gavel. These aren't just numbers. They're proof that a culture of arrogance has replaced service. Olivia Brown, standing beside Mason, turned as pale as marble. Emma clicked again. Guest complaints, 47 filed in 3 months. Comments include treated like I didn't belong, staff assumed I couldn't afford my room, and my personal favorite. Manager asked if I was sure I was in the right hotel. Olivia covered her mouth. Chloe Davis trembled behind the counter. Emma turned to them. You created an environment where humiliation was standard protocol. But tonight, your performance went live to thousands. The livestream count had crossed 12,000. The hashtag Sterling Hotel Racism now trended citywide. Mason's voice cracked. Please, Ms. Johnson, I have a family. I didn't know who you were. You didn't need to know, Emma replied sharply. You only needed to recognize a human being deserving respect. She advanced to the next slide. Employee performance review. Mason Harris, 1.8 out of 5. 17 warnings on file. His face drained of color. Olivia's profile appeared next. Olivia Brown, 19 guest complaints, 7 failed mystery shopper evaluations. Emma's tone softened only slightly. Your expired customer service certification and 8 months overdue diversity training will be handled after your resignation, if you choose to resign. Olivia's eyes filled with tears. Please, Ms. Johnson. I was following Mason's lead. Emma sighed. You're both adults. You chose to act this way. Leadership isn't about following cruelty. She turned to Chloe. Ms. Davis, you laughed when your colleague mocked me. You said my card carried diseases. Why? Chloe's voice trembled. I just didn't want to look disloyal. Loyalty to wrongdoing isn't loyalty, Emma said quietly. It's fear, but you're young enough to unlearn it, if you choose to. She nodded toward the security officer. Officer Clark, your decision? Ethan straightened. Ma'am, I questioned the situation before acting. I like to help fix what's broken. A flicker of pride crossed Emma's eyes. Then you'll be part of the solution. She turned back to Mason and Olivia. You both have 3 options. She lifted one finger. Option 1, immediate resignation with neutral references. 2 fingers. Option 2, termination for cause, permanently blacklisted from Sterling Properties. 3 fingers. Option 3, full corporate investigation. Public, televised, and career-ending. You have 1 minute. The lobby fell silent except for the hum of the air conditioner and the whisper of Ava Lewis's camera lens zooming in. Mason's voice came out barely audible. I resign. He pulled his name badge from his jacket, the small metallic click echoing like a confession. Olivia followed, tears streaking her cheeks. Resignation. I'm sorry. I really am. Emma nodded once. Your apologies are noted. Your consequences remain. She turned to Chloe. You said you want to do better. Prove it. I will, ma'am. Chloe replied through tears. I'll learn. I'll never treat anyone like that again. Emma looked at her for a long moment. Then you start tomorrow. Probationary training, 90 days. Earn back your place. A murmur spread through the onlookers. The crowd had shifted from silent spectators to witnesses of reform. Emma faced Ethan. You, Mr. Clark, will assist me in rebuilding this hotel's culture. Do you accept? He nodded firmly. Absolutely. No one should ever be treated the way you were. The clock read 12:03 a.m. Emma glanced at her phone. Time to rebuild. She opened a new presentation titled Immediate Reform Implementation, Sterling Grand Chicago. First, she said, management overhaul. Mason and Olivia, effective immediately, are relieved of duty. Interim management will be handled by Sophia White, arriving from our Boston property by morning. She placed a call on speaker. Grace Anderson, connect me with Dr. Isabella Taylor from Diversity Consulting. Within seconds, the call connected. Dr. Taylor, Emma said, we'll need emergency inclusion training for the entire Chicago staff within 48 hours. Yes, Ms. Johnson, came the reply. Consider it done. Emma disconnected and turned to Chloe and Ethan. From tonight, we begin the Guest Dignity Initiative. Every guest will scan a QR code to rate their experience in real time. Complaints go directly to corporate, bypassing local management. Ethan raised an eyebrow. That'll make hiding discrimination impossible. Exactly, Emma replied. Transparency protects everyone. She clicked again. All employees will undergo monthly unconscious bias training. Guest satisfaction will now impact bonuses and promotions directly. Fail the standard. Lose the privilege. The audience, hotel guests, now participants, began to applaud softly. An elderly woman in a silk dress rose from the couch. We watched and said nothing. That ends tonight. Thank you for doing what's right. Emma nodded graciously. Change starts with accountability from everyone. Ava Lewis, still live streaming, hesitated before asking, Ms. Johnson, can I ask something on camera? Go ahead, Emma replied. How do you stay calm after what they did to you? Emma smiled faintly. Hatred is heavy. Revenge is loud. But change echoes longer. I'm not here to humiliate them. I'm here to make sure this never happens again. Not to me, not to anyone. Ava lowered her phone, visibly moved. The viewer count now exceeded 20,000. The hashtag Sterling Hotel Reform was climbing beside hashtag Sterling Hotel Racism. Emma turned toward the camera. For everyone watching, if you face discrimination, speak up. Your silence protects the guilty. Your voice reforms the system. She handed Ava a card. Contact Dr. Zoe Hill at the Chicago Urban League. She'll lead our new community oversight board. We're not fixing this from behind closed doors anymore. Chloe wiped her tears. Ma'am, what happens now? Now, Emma said, closing her laptop. We begin rebuilding this hotel's soul. She turned toward the elevators, exhaustion finally showing in her shoulders. Ethan, Chloe, I'll see you at 8 a.m. sharp. Bring open minds. The elevator doors closed, sealing away the chaos of the night behind her. 3 months later, the Sterling Grand Chicago glowed differently. Same chandeliers, same marble, but the atmosphere had changed. Chloe, now a supervisor, greeted guests with confidence. Ethan, promoted to guest relations manager, trained new recruits in empathy and service. The plaque at the front desk read, in recognition of the dignity owed to every guest. Emma stood in the lobby once again, watching tourists check in with smiles instead of suspicion. The Guest Dignity Initiative had spread to all 847 Sterling properties. Zero discrimination complaints. Harvard Business School was writing a case study on their transformation. Emma lifted her phone, recording a short video message. Discrimination still happens every day in hotels, restaurants, stores. But real change begins with one choice: accountability over defensiveness. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And your dignity is non-negotiable. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more thrilling, cinematic stories just like this one. Here's a question for you. What would you have done if you were in Emma's shoes that night? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about change, not revenge.